we'll carry on our discussion about the use of objectives for designing a language course, right? Now we're going to see some of the examples of objectives, and we're going to see some salient characteristics of objectives and their usefulness for designing an efficient language course, right? As you might recall, right, as compared to aims, objectives are more precise and focused. They are more prescriptive, right? So, while designing, while writing objectives, we got some characteristics to look at, and these characteristics are like, they help describe learning outcome, right? For example, they clearly give direction to the teacher and students what they're gonna get out of a particular activity. For example, if the activity is about enhancing the listening skills of students, so the objective, the statement will clearly tell what the student's gonna get out of this activity from listening a gist or a conversation, right? So secondly, they need to be consistent with the aims of the course overall. I mean, if the objectives are having sort of inconsistency with the aims, they might lose their spirit. And we've got another characteristics, which is precision, which means the objectives need to be precise and clear. What I mean by precision here is, for example, students will be able to, will be able to talk to the native speakers. So this is a bit broad. What precision means here, for example, students, on the other hand, students will be able to talk with the native speakers and will be able to understand their short talk. So it gives a sort of more focus to the statement, right? And then the feasibility, I mean, they are practicable, which means they can be easily realized in the language classroom. So I've got one example for you to see how objectives look like. This example will demonstrate and will help us to see while analyzing any language curriculum document whether the objectives are clearly stated or not, right? The example here we go is to prepare students to communicate in English at a basic level for the purposes of travel and tourism. So if you look at this statement, this gives a precise focus of communication, which is at basic level. I mean, it determines the level of the students, and secondly, the purpose, which is traveling and tourism. So, the objective, this is the first statement, to prepare students to communicate in English at a basic level for purposes of travel and tourism. So that's the aim of the course, but the objectives are going to be more precise and going to be prescriptive. As compared to the statement, objectives will give direction. I mean, how many words students will learn to communicate in English for the purposes of traveling and tourism, right? And secondly, we're going to give some word list, another 300 words to become familiar with the expressions of using greetings and vocabulary. So if you look at again at this example, the aim is a bit general. I mean, it's about communication in English for tourism and for travel. But on the other hand, objectives are more precise. I mean, they give precise focus, direction, how many words students will be able to learn after the completion of a particular activity, right? So while looking at the objectives, we need to be aware of their significance for language curriculum design. So objectives overall, very precisely, they help us understand the subject matter and the level of the students. I mean, for example, what level the students need to learn listening, reading, or speaking skills, right? Okay, and we need to be aware of the role of teachers while stating objectives or writing objectives. I mean, group of teachers or a single teacher, how they can contribute to the writing of objectives and their realization in the classroom.